Hey everybody, it's Chris, and today we're doing a walk/throw through of Clover Cliff Ranch Disc Golf Course in Elmdale, Kansas. We're looking at this course because it will be one of the courses played for GBO this year. So if this course is on your schedule for tournament play, or if you're just tempted to come out and take a look, here's a quick walkthrough. You'll get a good feel of what the course looks like, maybe an idea of what kind of discs you're going to want to throw for certain holes. As you can see on the way in, beautiful property. It is a ranch, lots of cattle gates, etc. And it is in the Flint Hills, so a beautiful surrounding area as well. There's a practice basket set up, a little bit muddy, but you can definitely get your throws in. It only took me 4 tries to get a take with 2 made putts in it. So let's get over to the course and get started. For the tournament, players will be starting on hole 16 instead of on hole 1. It's right next to the parking lot you saw me pulling into. This is 355 feet, approximately 108 meters. It's a straight shot gap through the woods. You're going to see here I'm going to throw an escape just nice and gentle, and it's going to turn over to the right. The secret here is you don't have to get all the way to the pin, although the deuce is nice. You can definitely just punch most of the way through the woods and you'll have a fairly easy approach. Don't overthrow though. There is a creek behind the basket and in the surrounding fields. You can see the flags. It's painted and everything. There is some OB. Hole 17 is a very uphill 200-foot hole or 61-meter throw. For this shot, you're going to want to get something high up in the air to let it push forward toward or into one of these gaps. If you throw low, you're just going to hit the side of the hill. The good part of that is there aren't very many hard approaches to the basket. You just have to worry about rollaways, but pretty easy approach. Hole 18 is about 341 feet or 109 meters. It is going to go over this hill. You're going to see it from the tee pad in just a second, but I did want to walk out into this hill so you can see where the basket is. It's right in front of the leftmost tree from the tee pad. That's going to be your cue point. But I also wanted to pan around because there is OB all along the right side if you turn over too hard. It's pretty hard to get to unless you really grip lock it. But there's also some OB up by the chalet and the parking as well. So just be aware of the OBs before you throw. Unless you really have a bad shot, you shouldn't make it. This is just a nice pull straight over the crown of the hill. As you can only see the top of the trees here. Just be aware of your targeting area. Nice easy throw, let it fade in. Hole 1 is 325 feet downhill, or approximately 99 meters. That big guardian tree straight forward will grab your discs if you're not careful, and it will put you in the OB creek, so make sure to stay away from that. You can possibly shoot the gap, but it's pretty windy out there, or it was pretty windy out there today, so be aware. You're going to run into the bridges. Make sure you pay attention to the sign one at a time for safety. Also use those foot cleaners. Trust me, with the mud it's going to be helpful. Hole 2 is 332 feet, or approximately 101 meters. Straightforward. You can throw a mid, you can throw something over stable. Make sure you're paying attention to the wind before you decide. Your mids might get turned over if it's a headwind. There is some OB on the left side, as you can see here, and there is OB behind the basket as well, but the OBs behind the basket are pretty generous, so if you overthrow by 30 or 40 feet, you should be okay. Maybe try to keep that inside 30 or 40 feet. And a clank putt for you on that one. Hole 3, 373 feet. This one's going to be uphill. You're going to see it on the top of the ridge there. Again, very windy conditions. Pay attention to which way the wind's blowing. On this one, I didn't pull hard. I just wanted to get to the base of the rocks. I knew I couldn't get to the top with my distance. Put it up there. Be aware on the approach again because of the wind. If you go past the basket, the wind will push you on that flat. This nice easy throw that I thought was going to be within 5 feet was actually about 40 feet long, and I did not hit the comeback. Hole 4, 406 feet, approximately 124 meters. There is an OB pond. You can see the flags on the right side of the basket there. So you do want to stay away from that, but there's also OB on the left. There you can see the ridge line, and there is a dry pond on the other side of that ridge. So you're trying to land either short of the pond and just throw up, or make sure you stay within the ridge. You can see the flags here on the side of the ridge, and that goes all the way along the edge. On the way to hole 5, you get to walk along this beautiful fence line. I thought it was gorgeous, so I took a nice picture. Hole 5, 536 feet. There is going to be a creek OB again, 163 meters. On this one, I found, for me as a right-hand backhand thrower, the farther left I could get, the better line of approach it gave me. So you'll see this disc is fading very generously left, which is what I was hoping for. I actually wish it had gone a little bit farther, because you can see on the throw here, I would have liked to have been able to throw a little bit more hyzer on this disc, just to get it into the gap a little bit easier. Here's this OB creek I was telling you about. You can see the drop-off from this side, and the washout area as well. So just be aware of the OB when you're approaching. Try to get to the edge of the or past the bridge, and you'll be safe. Hole 6 is 295 feet or 90 meters. It is straightforward. Pretty decent headwind today, so I threw the verdict. It's going to flip up, and it is going to come up short, so just be aware with the headwind again. Pay attention to the wind, see which way they're blowing, and adjust your throws accordingly for that. Couldn't quite convert the putt. I was pretty disappointed on that one. Hole 7 is another big uphill, 280 feet or 85 meters. I actually had to go with a long-range driver because I am a terrible uphill thrower, and I'm still going to come up a bit short, but it's going to put me in putting range. So if you're a great uphill thrower, this should be right in your wheelhouse. If you're like me, maybe not. Beautiful view from up here. Take the time to just look out over the landscape. There's some good views. Account for the wind. Try to make your putts. You could see the little bit of stun on my face that I actually hit that one. Hole 8, downhill, 320 feet or 98 meters. You're trying to get into a pocket here. There is some OB long, but unless you really crush past the basket, you shouldn't have problems. Just throwing something down there and letting it fade to the pin. Fairly safe throw. Here you can see the gravel in the background. The fence that is past the basket is OB, so don't go past that. But like I said, it's pretty generous on the back. Hole 9 is another uphill throw, 276 feet or 84 meters. It's going to look a lot like hole 7, but the angle of it's not quite as steep an angle, so it's a little bit easier to throw. Here you can see an Opto Explorer. I'm going to throw it to the right side. As you're going to see in these pictures, this is the left side. It slopes quite a bit, so even though that disc almost hit the pin, it ends up about 35 feet away, whereas the right side has this beautiful flat landing zone to putt from, good for footing, etc. So definitely recommend the left side, or the right side, sorry. Hole 10, 365 feet, uphill and right. This is a tricky hole for me. Because of the slope of the hill, you definitely don't want to throw something flat and have it fade. There is a little bit of drop-off over on the left side. You can see it here. So you definitely want to stay to the middle or even squeeze the right side a bit. You're going to see I was a little bit afraid, so instead of throwing something hard, I'm just going to take a mid-range and put it over the top of this flat here, and then approach from that shot. Because that was a decent throw on the first one, I got to throw just a nice soft forehand. That was intentional. Didn't want to fade past the pin. If you can walk away with a 3, you're in good shape. If you get the 2, bonus for sure. Hole 11 is 373 feet or 114 meters. It's going to play considerably shorter than that because of the amount of downhill. Pay attention to the wind on this one. I had a pretty good push tailwind, so I just threw a Justice on the outside and let it drop back. But if you had a headwind or a side wind, it could change that shot for sure. I'm going to make this putt, and then I'm going to walk around and look crazy a little bit. I'm actually pointing out that there is OB behind this basket, so if you throw something that likes to glide, you could get in trouble. Hole 12, 339 feet or 130 meters. This is a good lesson hole. I was in a very protected area, so I was like, oh, the wind died down. But it was just because I was protected. As soon as I threw a disc, you can see it drop. The wind coming from behind is going to stable them up quite a bit and take the height off them. So be aware, watch the flags and the greenery around you. Make sure you know what the wind is doing before you throw. Hole 13, 675 feet, 206 meters. You can try to go over the bridge. I'm not exactly sure how far it is, maybe 375, 380 to get over, maybe even longer than that, I'm not sure. You can also pitch up short of the bridge, and you'll be just fine. This is a multi-hole throw. You'll just have to throw something a little bit longer. Here you're going to be able to see there is OB in the creek surrounding the bridge, so just be aware of the OB. Either go short or go over depending on how far you throw. Thank you to Zach Melton for the tip on how to approach from the side on hills. Makes it a lot easier for me anyway. Be aware on the approach into this green that there is OB on the left side. That creek is still in play, so if you do saw something off, you could conceivably go out of bounds. Just stay close to the pin and you're fine though. Hole 14, another long hole, 672 feet or 205 meters. This is a multi-hole throw for sure. Well, for me, I can't throw 600 feet, so all you're doing is try to get around the corner, but I would recommend staying as straight as possible. Here's the second throw. You can see from the top of the hill, you actually have somewhat of a line to the basket. It's still going to be tricky, but if you fade over to the right like I did, or turn over to the right, sorry, you're probably just going to end up in jail and have to pitch up. So you see a couple of judge throws just to get back on track for this hole. So stay to the left. Don't go over the wall because it is OB, but stay up on top of the hill and you should be in a lot better shape. And you get to finish on hole 15, 320 feet. That creek is OB once more. Here you're going to see the zoom into the pin. Very nice placement, very low and very tight though. So you can, here you're going to see I went for it and got super lucky. Missed my gap, hit a tree, everything went right that possibly could go right for me. I would actually probably recommend, if I was playing the tournament, I probably would have pitched up into this area by the bridge and just thrown across and taken my 3. Here I am hitting my last putt so I can walk off the course, and that's going to wrap up Clover Cliff Ranch. It is a beautiful course with excellent views of the Flint Hills. I definitely recommend going out just to experience it. Bring something for mud, to take mud off your shoes. It'll be helpful, and make sure you pay the $10 into the honor box for the day pass. This is a beautiful course. We don't want to abuse the trust of the owners. Definitely want this course to stick around. Hope you enjoyed the review, and have a great day. Thanks.